Alright, hey guys, what's going on? Today I decided to do something I've been seeing on YouTube every now and again. It's this website called either.io. Basically, it asks you a bunch of would you rather questions. I decided today I'm going to do this, give you guys some insight into how my mind works a little bit. Um, so we're just going to jump into it. First question here is would you rather know when you die or know how you will die? Now, something about me is I am one of those weird people who doesn't fear death. I see death as like something that's just gonna happen no matter what I do, so I don't fear it. I know it's gonna happen, but it for me, I don't really care how it happens particularly. I don't care if I get like my arm chopped off in the middle of the ocean and I bleed out for 16 days and I'm in excruciating pain the whole time. Because I know personally that there's not really much I can do about it. It's either going to happen or it's not. So for me, I would much rather know when I die. Simply because at least up till that point, I can not worry about it even more than I don't worry about it now. I can just say, well, it's going to happen in 10 years. Let's just live everything that I can do up until that 10 years. And then when it happens, it happens. There a lot of people's arguments for this is like, yeah, you know when, but what if it's like tomorrow? And I think the same kind of concept applies where it's like I don't really care if it's tomorrow or today or 10 years from now. The when doesn't really affect me because I know it's going to happen regardless. So it's kind of just a matter of if I know when, then I can do things to prepare for that. Versus how, I don't. It doesn't really matter how because you can't change the how. So you just know how it's going to happen, but you don't know when it's going to happen. And I think that's a lot more stress inducing than if you just know when. But apparently, I am in the minority for that one. That's kind of a surprise to me because I feel like my logic's pretty sound there, but then again, people are just straight up afraid of death. So I guess in that sense, I can understand why he would rather know how than when. But the next question is would you rather never be able to wear shorts, or excuse me, would you rather never be able to wear shoes, or would you rather not be able to touch anything red? Well, that's a tough one. Let me think. I'm probably gonna. This is kind of a weird one because we're in the age of COVID. I never leave my house really, except to like go to the store and buy groceries. Um, but at the same time, something like my microphone, for example, I have a HyperX Quadcast, so it's red, which means I could just never touch it. Well, I could touch the black parts, I guess. So I guess that's a loophole. Um, what else do I have that's red, really, that I touch? Not much. So, but I never really wear shoes either. So this is kind of actually a tough one, despite it being really stupid in my head. I mean, I can't. If I was never able to touch red, I wouldn't be able to click this, right? Technically speaking. Let me think here. Yeah, I don't really have anything in my life, really, that's red that I often touch. I can only think of a handful of things, and those handful of things I can just, like, replace with something that isn't red. They just happen to be red. Like, something that comes to my mind is, like, my Tupperware that I put, like, leftover food in. You don't have to have red Tupperware. I can just go buy different colored Tupperware. So I think my answer is definitely not touch anything red. But I wouldn't really mind either one because again, I don't really wear shoes anyway. I just stay at home all day. So if I had to take one trip to Walmart without wearing shoes, I think I would be all right, despite the fact that it wouldn't be the best. But I am in the majority of that one, so that's a good feeling. I feel like I want to be in the majority for most of these. So the next one is would you rather only have a first grade education or live in a world where everyone else only has a first grade education? So would you rather be dumb or smart? That's a tough question. I think in terms of pure success, if you were the smartest one and everybody else was a first grade education, you would for sure be the most successful person around. But then you would also, at least for me, I would also kind of feel bad because you're definitely going to be taking advantage of people if you're the smart one and they're the dumb one. But at the same time, I feel like if you're the dumb one, if you only have the first grade education, people can take advantage of you, but they also like for the good of the world, you kind of want to be the dumb one. You kind of want to just be the only person that's dumb and everyone else is smart. Well, I guess that's not really what it is because it's only you only have a first grade education, but that doesn't mean everybody else in the world is smart. I mean, we kind of know that in this day and age, with a lot of people and their political opinions and things like that. It doesn't really matter your education level. You can still be a little dumb sometimes. So I think if it's not really for the good of the world now that I'm thinking about it, which makes me definitely lean more towards being the smartest one in the world. Because then at least, like, if I have an education nobody else does, yes, I could take advantage of them and, like, be a bad person. I also could just be a really good person and lead them towards, like, really good directions with lots of good things. And I think I'm a good enough person for that. I also am a shitty person, let that be known, but I'm a good enough person for the good of the world to make things nice for everybody else at least. So I'm going to go with me being the smart one. And I think that's more of a selfish thing, so I think a lot of people agree with that because a lot of people are selfish, but that's all right. Jumping into the next one, it's would you rather store all of your photos on Facebook or store all of your photos on Flickr? This doesn't matter to me. I don't have either. I don't even really take pictures. I'm a pretty insecure person, despite the fact that I do YouTube, which is kind of counterintuitive. But I'm pretty insecure. I don't have a lot of pictures of myself, but I used to have a Facebook which had some pictures. I don't have it anymore. So I guess I'll just have to pick Facebook here. I've never had a Flickr. I never will. So I think that's just kind of a throwaway one. But the next one, would you rather get hit by a bus or watch a loved one get hit by a bus? I think that's kind of an easy one for me. I think I'd definitely rather just get hit by a bus. But the question really is, how fast is the bus moving? Am I going to die from getting hit by this bus, or am I just going to be in pain for a while? Am I going to be crippled for the rest of my life? What's like, is this bus just pulling off from the bus stop? Am I going to be like one of those grandmas with the walker across the crosswalk and I just get, just smacked around a little bit? Or am I going to be like, is it like going down the road 50 miles an hour and getting hit by a bus? I think there needs to be some clarification here. Because, listen, I love all my family, but I'm not getting hit by a bus going 50 miles an hour. But if I'm the old granny crossing the crosswalk, I feel like I can tank a bus pretty well. I mean, as well as you can if it's going pretty slow. I've been hit by a car before. It's not that bad. Except for the one time I did get hit by a car going about 40. That one tore me up a little bit. Not gonna lie about it. The more I'm thinking about this, the more I'm definitely thinking about pushing some of my family members under the said bus. I'm gonna be selfish here. Sorry, guys. That sucks for you though, for sure. Next one, would you rather be James Bond or be Jason Bourne? Well, in this day and age, I can't be British, so that's an easy answer. Come on. Tuesday. Come on, I'm not being British. Get out of here with that. Would you rather sleep in a tanning bed for a month or sleep in a small suitcase for a month? I'm one of the weird people who like enjoys being in like confined spaces. Like when I can't, I don't, not that I don't enjoy having a lot of space, but like if I'm in a confined space, I'm like okay with it and I'm comfortable with that. I'm not like claustrophobic or anything. I'm like the opposite. I like being in smaller spaces. And I have never been in a tanning bed because I've had family members literally get cancer from a tanning bed. So I think my answer is pretty easy here. I would just much rather be in a suitcase. Tanning beds will literally kill you if you stay in them for a month. So it's would you rather die or just stay in a suitcase for a while? I'd much rather just stay in a suitcase for sure. Granted, it doesn't say that the tanning bed's necessarily on, But even then, I feel like those things aren't very comfortable in comparison to like a suitcase. Not that suitcases are very comfortable to sleep in, but I mean, those tanning beds just have like bars that are light bulbs. You're basically sleeping on a pile of those long light bulbs. That's not very comfortable. At least a suitcase has like a little bit of padding, you know? Anyway, well, I already gave my answer. So anyway, next one. Would you rather wear nothing but jeans or nothing but shorts? Definitely shorts. That's what I do now. I live in Colorado, so in the wintertime, I definitely have to wear jeans and sweats and stuff because it gets really fucking cold when it snows and stuff. Um, but as of right now, I wear nothing but shorts. I think they're the most comfortable. Like I said, I don't really leave my house much, and I don't predict that I'll be leaving my house much anytime soon. So I feel like shorts is definitely the answer because I can just turn my heater on and be fine. Like literally right now, I'm wearing a hoodie and shorts, and I'm very comfortable. I feel like if I was wearing jeans, I would be incredibly uncomfortable. And every time I do wear jeans, I am incredibly uncomfortable because if you think about it, jeans are not a comfortable clothing item. Like they're just denim that you put on your bare legs. Luckily, like we wear underwear, but like jeans are not comfortable. Shorts are very comfortable. They're cloth, they're breathable, you can move around in them. Jeans are so confining and rough and like not breathable at all. I feel like this is an easy shorts for me. But I am in the minority for this one, surprisingly. I feel like I would have thought most people would have picked shorts. I think shorts are like the easy answer. They're so comfortable in comparison to jeans. But then again, I guess like a lot of people wear jeans a lot. Like you wear them to work, you wear them when you go to the store and stuff. So I guess that makes sense. But I'm just a shorts guy personally. Next one. Would you rather live the life of Amy Pond with the Doctor in the TARDIS, or yeah, I don't know this one. We're gonna go with the next one. Would you rather have extreme narcolepsy or have a bad case of Tourette's? Well, for me, I actually have diagnosed extreme insomnia. So I'm the exact opposite of narcolepsy. So if I had extreme narcolepsy, I feel like they would just cancel each other out and I'd be able to sleep normally versus just having Tourette's. So I feel like my answer is an extremely easy picking of the narcolepsy just to even out my insomnia. Because because I know they're not, it's not like they just cancel each other out like a math problem. But even if I can like minimize my insomnia on a trade off for having a little bit of narcolepsy, I'm kind of okay with that. But Tourette's, while it's not like the worst disease that you can ever have, it's certainly a more inconvenient than what I would experience with narcolepsy because of my insomnia. So I have to pick the narcolepsy, but that's a pretty even vote because I feel like for most people that would be a hard question. Of would you rather like just randomly fall asleep in a place or would you rather like say the F word really loud? So sure, I think that's a fair like 50-50 question, but for me that's an easy narcolepsy. But the next one here, would you rather be no thank you. Next one. Would you rather be eaten by a zombie or be burnt at the stake? So would you rather be burned alive or eaten alive? I think for me, it's tough on this one. I've thought about this. Don't judge me, but I've thought about this a lot throughout my life. Mainly because I had a family who was very like into The Walking Dead, and then so we would talk about like how bad it would really suck to be eaten by a zombie. And then if you've ever seen like any show or just any form of media where people get like burnt alive, it's definitely the one of the most painful ways to go out, like for sure. But so is being eaten. Both of them are like pretty equally bad on terms of ways to die, because it goes back to what I was saying in like the first original question of like, would you rather be in pain and suffering when you die or just know when you die? But this one is like, how much pain would you rather be in when you die? Because both are going to be super excruciating. But the thing is, being burnt at the stake is actually probably quicker than being eaten alive. It's It takes a long time to die when you get eaten alive. Unless they're like ripping your whole heart out or your whole brain or something, you're not going to die very quickly. It like think about zombies in the media. What do they usually like get to first when they start eating you? Like arms, legs, maybe like a stomach. Like not places where when you start getting eaten, you're going to die very quickly. Those are places it's going to take a long time to like bleed out or like anything like that. So I think but versus in a fire, yes, you're in excruciating pain for a long time, to be honest. Um, and your skin's melting off, your muscles are then melting off. You can't really do anything, but it's really just a quicker method than being eaten. You're gonna die quicker in a fire than you're gonna die being eaten alive. So I think that's my answer for sure. I'm in the minority, but I think both are equally pretty awful. Um, Either way, it's gonna suck for you. So it's just the lesser of two evils. All right, here we go. The next one, ooh, this one's a little bit different. So, if you were given the responsibility, would you rather inform a room of first grade students that their favorite pets have died tragically, or explain to a room of first grade students how sex works in graphic detail? Wow, okay, that's a tough one. I think this is a really tough question, but I think the key thing is that it's a room of first grade students. So they're very young. They're like 6, 7 years old, right? They're extremely young. Way too young in my mind to be learning about sex. I think, at least where I'm from, we learned about sex when I was in like fourth or fifth grade. And even then, it was probably still too young because it was like, listen, man, sex sounds cool and all, but I think girls are icky. I'm not having sex anytime soon. Later on, I had sex in like eighth grade, but like, I feel like that's just way too young to start explaining that, and they'll be more confused than anything. Versus, yeah, they're gonna be a little sad when you tell them that their pet died pretty tragically, but they're young. They have impressionable minds. They're gonna forget pretty quickly. They're gonna be sad, but then you like take them out and say like, "Hey, let's go play on the slide at recess," and they're gonna kind of forget about it until later. Yeah, it's gonna suck, but like most people in their lives experience a pet dying, and it sucks pretty bad. But eventually, you get over it. And I feel like, especially because they're young, they're going to get over it a lot quicker. So I'm okay with breaking the news to them that their pet died, but I'm not really okay with explaining sex to them. I think they're too young for that. But apparently, people disagree with me. Apparently, that's more comfortable for people. That's kind of weird to me. I don't really get that, but hey, to each their own, I suppose. Let's go to the next one. Would you rather have an iPhone or have an Android? I already have an iPhone, so that's just an easy question there. Let's go to the next one. Spend money? Would you rather spend money to Saturday knocking down the wall of off China for the rest of your life, or never be able to leave your bedroom? I don't leave my bedroom already, so easy question. Next, would you rather be a wizard or be the king of England? So would I rather be Harry Potter or be somebody with no power? Get out of here with that question. That's the stupidest question that I've seen today. What what does the King of England do? Nothing, man. He just be sitting around old as fuck. Have you seen pictures of him? The dude's like 1,000 years old. He's like a vampire. I get scared when I see him. I don't want to be that. I'd rather just die straight up than be the King of England. Dude, he's weird. Look at him. He's so old. But I could be a wizard like Harry Potter, like and like make my life easier with like magic and like literally just be a wizard. Like that's sick. Come on, that's such an easy question. Let's go to the next one. We'll do a couple more. Would you rather glue your eyes shut with super glue or spill hot glue over your naked lap? That's tough. So I think for sure despite what people might think, gluing your eyes shut is actually a lot easier to like deal with than giving yourself like second, third degree burns with a hot glue gun. If any of you use a hot glue gun often, which I used to do back in high school, I used it a lot. I have gotten a lot of burns from hot glue guns. They are not pretty. It hurts. It stings. They welt up. It's not fun. But I also played sports a lot, where sometimes in sports, like at least where I'm from, if you got a cut like on your hand or something, you could use super glue on that cut and like glue it together, and then like a day or two later peel that glue off, and you're fine. Um, so if I could do that, I'd be okay. If obviously super gluing your eyes shut is a little worse, but if you do it because like you have like your eyelashes there, so like you're gonna probably peel your eyelashes off and that's gonna hurt. But I think that little bit of pain that you're gonna go through for gluing your eyes shut is actually a lot less pain that you're gonna go through for the hot glue. So I'm gonna pick super gluing my eyes shut, but I kind of figured that I would be in the minority for that one because I feel like most people haven't really experienced putting super glue on themselves a lot, but I have, and it's actually really not as bad as you think. At least the super glues that I would use. I don't know, maybe like Gorilla Glue is gonna like blind you for the rest of your life, but I don't know. I think that's an easier one than I would think. But next one, would you rather live under communism or live under capitalism? Now, this one's going to be a little controversial because hear me out. In idea, communism is actually a pretty good idea. Uh, like just taking everything from people and spreading it out evenly. In idea, it's actually really smart. But if you look at the examples of communism that we've ever seen in the world, you can clearly see it's pretty horrible in practice. Nobody's executed it well because it's such a hard idea because it gives so much power to a single person that like it kind of yikes if I'm being honest. But I live in a world where there is capitalism. I live in a capitalism country. And it has its flaws too. There's lots of basically monopolies going on that we just don't call monopolies under capitalism. Um, that being stated, just because communism has been so bad in practice, it's probably going to always be bad in practice, despite the idea not being that bad, actually. So I am going to go with capitalism here. It's what I already live under. It's what I'm used to. It has its flaws, but, you know, like I said, I'm used to it, right? So I'll just continue to get used to it. So, you know, woohoo, thumbs up, capitalism. All right, we'll do two more. This one, would you rather have a month of intense nonstop rain or have a month of long 100-degree heat wave? I'm a rain person. I immensely want to move to a place where it rains all the time. I have lived in places where there's heat waves. I've lived in like Georgia. Even in Colorado, sometimes we get like months of 100 plus degrees in the summer. It sucks. I'm not a fan of the heat. I don't like being sweaty. I don't like being uncomfortably hot. But I love the rain. I've never once had a rainstorm that I disliked, and I went to North Carolina recently, and there was a hurricane, and I still was like immensely enjoying the rain. Obviously, if I was like in the eye of a hurricane, I probably wouldn't enjoy it as much, but I really, really love the rain. I think it's so peaceful and pretty, and like I just love the rain. So that's an easy answer for me. All right, last one here. Would you rather have the paparazzi follow you around or reveal a different secret about yourself in a weekly newspaper column? I think that's very easy. I actually would definitely pick the secrets about myself. I think that's way more fun and interesting. The paparazzi are creepy. They will not leave you alone. They will try to dig up things that you never ever ever want to be released to the world. They have no boundaries at all. Like they're weirdos. But if I can like choose a secret to reveal about myself, I'm fine with that. I feel comfortable doing that. In fact, I would do that now even. I think if I like most YouTubers and streamers and stuff like that, like kind of do that anyway. And like, you know, if you're gunning to be that, that's probably what's going to end up happening to you. I think it's natural to like as you grow to just reveal secrets about yourself. I think that's fine, you know. So I think that was an easier answer for me, but 60% of people think the paparazzi is like better than that. I disagree, but hey, to each their own. Either way, I had a lot of fun doing this. If you guys want to see me do some more of these, let me know. Like I said, it's a whole lot of fun. These would you rather's are basically endless. You know, you can come up with pretty much any scenario to do these in. So if you want to see more, just let me know. Either way, thank you guys for watching. Hit the subscribe button down below. Leave a like. Hit the bell too so you know when I post my next video. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.